Alright, here we are in round 1, game 2, and we're on the draw. And if we drew an island, we'd get to preordain and hopefully hit more islands, but I am not LSV. I will mulligan this hand, and I will keep this one. This looks a lot better. Sure. Turn 1 mana elf, a little annoying. Maybe I'll draw a mana elf, but I will not. Alright. Next turn, I will probably just Farseek, I guess. Just gives me more options in the later turns. Playing Looter is fine too, but it's whatever. Maybe if I don't draw a land, I play Looter here so that I have a better chance of drawing a land in the next 2 turns. It's an interesting thought. Our opponent's going for it here. If he's got a Garruk, yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. I'm not sure if we can beat that. That's a pretty fast start. I guess our best way of beating that is Farseeking here? I guess? I'm not crazy about this, though. We are definitely in some trouble. But I don't really have a big creature I can put down on the board, so I'm better off just trying to build up something here, hopefully draw something that gets me out of this. I mean, Treachery is pretty big. Maybe he'll play a big creature we can steal in a couple turns or something. But of course he's got 1,000,000 mana now, because he can untap with Garruk as well. And he's got all the time in the world, because we're not putting pressure on him. Man, he's got a lot of ramp artifacts. See, he's probably got a build that's a little too heavy on the ramp stuff. But we'll see. Maybe he's about to play a big threat here. I'll call that a big threat. Gross. Yeah, I mean, I think this is it's a pretty insane start. I don't think we have a chance of beating this, but we'll see what happens. I think... Ugh. Alright, so I think what's going to happen here is this turn we bounce his token, and then next turn we steal his wolf ear and pair it with Wake Thrasher. It gives us a chance to win. Our opponent's only got 1 card in hand. They did ramp out fast. Well, and it looks like we get to kill his elf too. I guess that's okay. Bounce your beast. Kill your elf. And we have a Venser, which is cool. And then we're going to have 2 huge monsters in a second here. If he's got like a Naturalize for us, that would kind of suck. I mean, I'm guessing he doesn't. Well, he's about to play something here. Who knows what it is? Could just be another ramp artifact or whatever. Could be that guy who's not a big deal. Sure, you want to soul bond him, I don't care. Alright. So now we go Treachery, targeting this big guy here. I think it's got to be this guy. Fleecebane doesn't really do anything for us. This guy's causing us the most problems. I will untap all my lands. And then looks like Wake. So I mean, we could pair Looter, but we are losing the race currently, so I'd rather have a guy that can block. And so that guy is going to be Wake Thrasher. And Wake Thrasher is also going to be pretty huge. And we will go ahead and soul bond those guys. And then we will go ahead and play Looter since we do not have the lands to do anything else. We don't have lands that keep dissipate up. But next turn we will have some huge beaters. And we will have the mana to dissipate and all that good stuff. So that's good. Gotta be a little careful. I mean, he could keep just like ticking up Garruk and ultimately ultimate it. Of course, our Wake Thrasher is going to be way big in a second here. If he's got a way to kill our Treachery, obviously we're in trouble, but whatever. This guy's interesting, kind of cool, but I'm not as crazy about this type of build. It's an interesting type of deck, but you know, it's not quite aggressive enough to be a fast creature deck, but it's not quite top end enough, at least from what we've seen, to be, you know, anything to write home about. So now we are kind of left. I mean, so we might just attack with Wake Thrasher. Alright. Some triggered abilities on the stack. I forget what the key is you're supposed to hit for that to make those go on there. But there we go. Kind of a big Wake Thrasher. Oh, and then we get a Deranged Hermit. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so we can kill Garruk with our Looter, and then we can swing Wake Thrasher at him, and he can decide if he wants to take 11. And then we play our... Yeah. And so even without 11-10, so he's a 7-7, so he would still have to, like... Yeah. So I guess we could attack him with both of these guys, attack Garruk with the Looter, and then we follow up with the Deranged Hermit. And I think it just puts him in a spot where he doesn't have a lot of good blocks. This will be a 4-4. I think that's right. Yeah, I don't think he's got a lot of good action here at this point. And he's got to block some things, and we'll have a bunch of Deranged Hermit tokens, so we'll be able to block his nonsense too. So we're not going to just die next turn. So I think this is a play. Just put a lot of pressure on him, force him to get rid of some creatures, and go from there. Get Garruk off the table. So these guys are going to come at you, and this guy is going to come at Garruk, because he's awesome. He could have a burn spell to take out my Looter. That would kind of suck, but wouldn't be the end of the world. He's probably just monstrosing his Fleece Mane. Sure. Oh yeah, it becomes indestructible too. I did kind of forget that, actually. Okay, that's fine. So you want to take 8. Let's see. I mean, you know, that's totally fine. Doesn't really change anything for us. Now we've got a bunch of squirrels. Wake Thrash will be huge next turn. He can chump it. I mean, he can keep blocking with Fleece Mane, but doesn't really do a lot because we've still got our Silver Heart. So he really needs a way to deal with the Treachery. Dealing with the Treachery would be a problem for us, although he couldn't immediately Soul Bond the Wolfear, and it would be tapped. So I think he still would be in some trouble, but we'll see. I think we will echo our Deranged Hermit. He does have red in his deck, so it's possible he's got a burn spell for it, and so that would suck a little if he burned our Deranged Hermit, but, you know, it's fine. Squirrels. Thran Dynamo, sure. I am not afraid of a Thran Dynamo. I will chump some dudes if he attacks. I think otherwise. Alright, I will just go ahead and play the Echo cost. I didn't do all the math. I mean, it might not make sense to pay the Echo because I could keep Dissipate up and just have... I don't think I have a guaranteed win this turn without that, though. Alright, so if he blocks my three biggest guys, he blocks this guy, he blocks this guy, he blocks one of these, he's going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's got to, like, have something. The downside of that is if he does have something, then we are just dead. So I'm fine with actually attacking with this, and looter, and he has to at least lose a beast, and that's fine, and we get to loot and other things. And then next turn we'll have Cryptic up. I think it's a safer play just in case he has something. I don't think he has anything, but, you know, we want to be safe. I think this is the safest play, because I think it's just going to be super hard for him. I can't think of the combination that wins at him next turn unless he's got, like, some sort of, like, red wrath or something like that. I don't think he's playing, like, Day of Judgment in his deck. Maybe he is, I don't know. But I like this play. He's going to have trouble finding good blocks. Yeah, he has to block there. Loses that dude. We hit him. We get a loot. Not that it matters too much. Yeah, I think I'll actually just keep my counter spells. Can't imagine losing, but unless he's got, like, random pyroclasm, even then we haven't lost the game. We still got these two guys. So, yeah. I don't think that really even does it. And we can always just Cryptic his team next turn and all that. So yeah, I mean it would be difficult for him to win here. You know, I know some of you are saying, oh, well, there was like an onboard win there, but I think, you know, we're just, because we're so far ahead, it's that sort of thing where when you're this far ahead, you always just want to play around what you could lose to. I think it's close here, though, because you really could make an argument if he's got a burn spell, he probably would have used it by now. Like, it's really hard to imagine him having one and not using it by now, but I can't guarantee that, you know. And I think the likelihood of him maybe having a burn spell there is higher than him having Pyroclasm or something and then playing it there. Okay, well, then that happens. I guess that was one out. I don't know if we have enough. 8, 15. What's 15 plus 6 is 21. And then 8, 9, 10, 11. I think so. I think we're just dead. Okay, well, I guess I could have thought of that card and tried to play around it. I think we're just dead here. I think I did the math right, but just in case, we'll go ahead and do this. But I think we are dead by, like, 1 life. Sucks. So, okay, you guys can blame that on me. I mean, like I said, it was kind of a weird spot where it seemed unlikely. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have thought of that, because we did see that in the draft. What a punt. No, I mean, I can't feel that bad about it. Like, he had any burn spell there. I mean, I think we can still win this, though, pretty easily. Sideboarding again, nothing really crazy we've seen. I mean, we could maybe put in the artifact guy to really go after his artifact ramp, but I don't think that's necessarily where we want to be in this matchup. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one. I'm sorry.